Best of 5, of course, £100 a frame. Judd Trump to start. As I say, although he's bottom of the table, it's no great cause for alarm. But it maybe would be if he lost this match. So an important match here for Trump. Made a bad start yesterday, lost 3-0 to Robertson. Trump then beat Ryan Day 3-1, but in his last match he lost 3-1 to Sean Murphy. Matthew Stevens made a very slow start again, 3-0. He lost his first match to Graham Dott. But he beat Ryan Day 3-1. And then in the last match last night he beat Mark Davis 3-2. After these two matches being played on the two tables now, everyone will have played 4 matches, so the table will be slightly more, I think, reflective of what's been happening and what the various players need to do. Of course, they each play 6 matches. Robertson, although he arrived, didn't arrive on time, so he's been docked a frame. So Graham Dott already a frame up. The easiest £100 Graham's ever going to win.
Judd Trump won.
So no position from the red, just a safety from Trump. Second day of these groups tends to be a lot more kind of serious than the first, because obviously the end is in sight. You've got to get in the top 4 tonight to get into the playoffs, and therefore a chance to get into the final this evening.
Foul and a miss.
Oh dear, well that's it's not hitting the pink, that's the problem. It's leaving the red on. Don't think he was too impressed with the way the cushion, when it came off the cushion there. Seemed a bit bemused by it.
One. Six. Seven.
Yes, Trump already has contested 2 finals. First one was close against Ricky Walden, 3-2, but Joe Perry beat him 3-0 in less than half an hour in the other one. Trump trying to make things happen here, trying to get the Reds open, and that's not really finished too well. They've kind of got in one another's way and didn't really get into the meat of the pack there. They didn't all scatter, just a few came out. Well, if he's playing the plant, it's a risky one. because they're a long way apart. And the problem is you don't know exactly where they're all going to finish.
Judd trump 12.
Just didn't fancy playing safe, it seems. Well, it's tight, isn't it, past the black? Let's come round to have a look from the pocket. Well, from that angle, it looks like it pots. Yes, no problem. Yeah, risky shot really from Trump, because, as I say, the two reds were quite a distance apart, and crucially, so was the white. It wasn't right behind the first red, so it made the plant that he attempted more difficult. And after a slow start yesterday, Matthew Stevens started to play pretty well towards the end. It was a good match against Mark Davis last night that he won 3-2.
Three. Four. Six.
Well, it wriggled in. I was just thinking before he played that
Seven.
that's missable first thing in the morning. And believe me, 11 o'clock is first thing in the morning to snooker players. Tends to be more of a night sport, really. That's when Matthew got going yesterday. It was in the evening. Well, he's overhit that. So it looks like end of break. Neil Robertson and Graham Dott are finally getting going on table 2. Dott already a frame to the good after Robertson was docked that frame for late arrival. He's foggy out, but to be honest, Neil has got a little bit of previous when it comes to not turning up on time. It's his only weakness, I think. He's off the table. He's not on the table. Graham Dott, I suspect, doesn't care about that. He's the easiest £100 he'll ever earn. So just 10 points in it in this opening frame.
Foul. And a miss.
Looking for a thin contact. It's often the case that first time round players will miss completely rather than hit it too thick. The problem here is he may not have it put back. This looks like Trump's range. Well, he is, so going back, you heard the laughter there on the other table. That was the Robertson-Dott match getting underway. I'm sure a few things have been said to Neil because, as we say, it's not
Oh, you got it there.
Not the first time.
Yeah? Okay, Judd.
Well, I'm told, in fact, the referee originally said first frame, Neil Robertson to Bragg, and then, of course, realised it was actually the second frame, so corrected himself. Yeah, as I say, it's not the first time it's happened, so there'll be a bit of ribbing later on, I'm sure, back in the players' room. Cracking pot.
One.
Needs the white to held up, which it has done, so chance here for Judd Trump. Yeah, the only winners really in that, with the docking of the frame, Graham Dott, of course, and Clive Everton, because it's one last frame Clive's got to commentate on.
Blue ball.
Well, chance for Trump, and chance he's got to take, you feel, bottom of the table. Not terminal by any means, with just 2 points separating the field, but even so, he would only have 2 more matches to come after this one. And they're all tough games, of course. He's got Graham Dott and Mark Davis, 2 solid players later on, so if he can get himself to 2 points, then he'll feel a lot happier going into those matches.
7.
And if he were to win this match, he would be at least 4th, possibly 3rd in the table, depending on the Dott Robertson game. So obviously he'll be looking a lot better in terms of his position going into his next match.
You will go longer if you need it. Okay. $14. 15. 22. 23.
36 ahead. Blue makes it 41 with 67 on. At 37 ahead now, so 42 it would be. But what it all boils down to is a couple more reds, and it should be 1-0 to Trump.
Rebel.
Felt he'd gone a little too far on the blue.
27.
Took the brown instead. Same difference though in terms of what he needs. That was a kick. That doesn't help. He's still on the black, but
28.
it's certainly not as easy as it could have been without the bad contact. We had a few yesterday, particularly on this table, it's got to be said. Pretty cold outside, and weather does have an effect on the conditions inside. Oh, it's just held on. I thought that was going to drop, but
28.
it's just held on. So there we are. The kick did have a big effect there. He's not over the line yet. 42 in front with 59 on. At least he's blocked the pocket. If the black were to drop in now, by the way, the referee would have to replace it where it is. That's the rule. Wouldn't count on Trump's score. In a snooker club, you would have stamped your foot or banged the table, but it's not kind of frowned upon in the professional game, that sort of behaviour. The key here is to always leave the cue ball over the right-hand side so as not to leave any sort of pot onto the left corner. The black's blocking the pocket here, so can't leave anything to this corner. That was well worked out from Trump.
Foul.
Oh dear.
Judd Trump 7.
One thing you can't do is knock the black in. But worse still, the red that knocked it in has stayed close to the pocket. Judd Trump's already 49 in front, so red and a colour, this frame's over. Is he on a colour?
1.
Well, it's not great, is it? Doesn't have to go for one, but if you were to pot, for example, the brown, he'd be 54 in front with 51 on. He may feel he could take the brown to the corner, screw the white back to the cushion for safety.
Green ball.
Putting the green safe, well, that's mature.
Judd Trump 1.
But the frame's still anyone's, 50 in it, 51 on. No, that's not a good shot. So the ploy worked for Trump, the safety first approach. If he knocks this red in, it should be 1-0 to him. Could have done with that one, because two snookers to tie, so worth playing on. If that blue had gone in, I'm sure Matthew Stevens would not even think of coming back. So, he just put himself through a little bit of unnecessary anxiety there as Trump. Still expecting to win this frame, but it's not absolutely guaranteed to. Well, he is now, because he's missed that one, so
Don't
Matthew's going to
concede,
concede.
Judd trump.
Pretty wretched frame from Matthew Stevens all round, really. Didn't really do much damage in the first frame, it's got to be said. Needs to tighten up in all areas. Again, that's not good. He's left this red on to the right centre. 97 break from Robertson, has won him the first frame against Graham Dott, so showing no after effects of having to race here.
1.
Yeah.
3.
Not good for Trump. Looks like he can't see the red to the right corner, so having another look. No, he can't see it. So just a safety. Take the white back down to ball.
Judd trump 3.
Well, some shot to get him behind the yellow, and Snooker him on every red. And the problem here is the reds aren't packed together in a bunch; they're all spread. So it's going to be relatively difficult for Stevens to find a safe place. He's looking at this red on the right-hand side. If he can rest up to that, he might be okay. But it's a big if, really, because any chance he leaves for Trump, we know Trump's going to pounce. Has he played this a little too hard? Well, it's a nice hit, but just a question of whether there's anything on it. Maybe the reds are all blocking one another, in which case he'd be okay. So in the end, it was a good shot from Matthew Stevens. Trump, though, determined to keep the pressure on with some good safety. Plenty of distance between cue ball and the Reds, and also trying to leave the cue ball as close to the baulk cushion as possible, because it makes cueing that much more difficult when you can't get your hand on the bed of the table. It's just on the rail. Just makes accuracy harder to come by. Ooh, a complete miss hit this time from Trump. But it was a good return from Stevens. As I say, he was in a bit of trouble, but he played a good shot, and now he's got his reward. So, can Matthew Stevens get going this Tuesday morning?
One. Six. Seven. Twelve. Thirteen. 18. 19. 24. 25.
Well, the way he played last night, you'd expect him to certainly do enough here to win the frame. He played well against Mark Davis. Only won 3-2, but some good breaks from Matthew. 63, 97, 73.
31.
37.
32. 38. 39. 6.
Yeah, it's nice. He does moving the other way, red away to free this one. Keep the break going.
46.
Leads by 43, but enough open reds to go out here to
47.
win this frame and make it one apiece.
$53. 54.
'Cause So it's red and a colour that he needs. Saying how good Trump's safety has been. In the end, it was a bad safety that let Matthew Stevens in for this frame-winning contribution.
61. 67.
Would just like this extra red to really kill it off. And it goes.
68. 75. 76. 83. Matthew Stevens 83 on the
83 will do. So one chance was all Matthew Stevens needed there. That'll give him a real boost because he didn't play well in the first frame, but
one. 4.
think he is just on this red. Well, he's not happy with it. Played it well, played the cannon to the other red to stay on the black. Graham Dott leading 2-1. In another universe, it's 1-1, because of course he was awarded the first frame, but the match score says 2-1. Neil Robertson, it should be said, was only a couple of minutes late, and it should also be said it's very foggy out. He's driven from Cambridge. You could say, well, should have left earlier, but it's not like he's turned up an hour late. It was just a couple of minutes. It takes long enough to get down the drive here at Crondon Park. That's quite a treacherous drive. It's the best part of a mile just from the road to the actual golf course.
$13.
Oh dear. Well, it's not finished too bad, because what he was trying to do, of course, was split the reds off the black. Well, he's missed the black, but at least the white has careered off down the table, so he's not left anything on. But even so, be disappointed there. There's a chance to, again, make a nice break after the 83 in the previous frame. Well, straight back in.
1.
That little cannon on the black has just stopped the cue ball coming past the blue to be the right angle on it. So all he can really do is leave himself a mid-distance red. Although he's starting to knock them in. Matthew Stevens.
Six. Seven.
Well, not only the players that are ruthless. There you can see the little uninvited guest. I don't think we'll be seeing him again.
Mark didn't have that.
Now having to get rid of the entrails from the bays. Pretty gruesome, really. Snooker's not a sport where a lot of mercy is shown.
Nine. Ten.
Well, he could play directly into the cluster of reds here. The problem with that shot... Oh, just let him play the shot first. Yeah, that's exactly it. The problem with that shot is you can stick to them.
15.
If anything, I think he needed a little bit more pace there just to stop that happening. So, looks like end of break. Try and get that cue ball somewhere awkward for Trump.
Matthew Stevens, 15.
Well, the red has gone towards the corner, but as you can see, the cue ball is coming behind pink and yellow. And the problem, of course, now for Matthew Stevens is not leaving the red on for trump. Can he come cushion first here? What he was looking at. Yes, well played. Worked that out nicely. Couldn't see it directly, but potted it cushion first. He started to look really sharp, actually, Matthew, here in this one, after not a great first frame.
Six.
Well, a couple of little kisses there,
Seven.
but it's okay. Or at least it will be okay if in potting the blue he avoids contact with the four colours on the baulk line. And of course gets on a red as well. So this could go wrong, this next shot. Well, he's avoided them. And it looks like he'll be on a red. Just needs to hold up a bit. Oh, it ran on and on, that cue ball. I think he's still on the red to the left corner, the one that's away from the cushion. Not the one on the cushion, but the one on the left-hand side. Well, from that angle, he's not. So he's overrun position, but that's the problem when the cue ball travels. And now, well, he's looking at a tough one to the middle. All come from being the wrong side of the blue. Cue ball having to travel a further distance, and now it's just safety. So it's end of break. Stevens 40 points in front, but having to wait for another chance. Putting a red safe, which makes sense because Trump will need that red. Matthew Stevens won't. Still disappointed, I'm sure, though, not to continue the break there.
Nice bounce.
That seemed to spring off the cushion, didn't it? It's come a long way past where he played it. Trump trying to bring some of these reds off because he needs them. And that was a kind little kiss, actually, off the pink, because it sent the cue ball onto the cushion. So again, it makes it just more difficult here for Matthew. Yeah, it's just that little flick on the pink has just made this awkward. It's harder queuing. Well, was playing to leave the white on the top cushion. He didn't play it there. He actually apologised there because he's been fortunate. I don't know whether he thought the white moved on the way down, but anyway, he kind of got away with it. Wow. Again,
One.
not played. It's amazing, isn't it, how skillful snooker is, but luck does play a part. Matthew Stevens thought he'd got lucky with the fact that his safety had gone wrong, but still thought he hadn't left anything. Trump was playing the cue ball back down to baulk, but a red's gone in. It's not so much the fact that he's potted it, it's that he's not left it over the pocket. Because the main part of the shot he got right, which was the safety. So quite a tense third frame all told here. Oh, full-blooded effort and very close. But the fact that he's missed it and the fact that Matthew Stevens is already 39 points in front makes the Welshman now a big favourite for this frame. Went full-blooded at the red, got close to it, but stayed out and worse still came across the table. Well, that was a kick.
One.
It's not too bad, but again, another kick. We've had a lot over the last couple of days. It was a great investigation that Sean Murphy undertook that you may have seen some publicity around during the Masters, but findings a little inconclusive because the cloth manufacturers say that they've been looking into similar causes that Sean Murphy identified. I won't go on about them now because it's quite detailed, but they said in brief that they don't think actually he's right. It's to do with the balls, the cloth, the heat of the table and other factors as well.
8.
His idea is that, a bit like in tennis, you should change the balls more regularly. That's Murphy's idea.
9.
Anyway, Matthew Stevens 48 in front. The pink would make it 54 with 59 on, so he'd need one more red as well. I think there he actually tried to cannon that red away from the black, but he went past it. Would have been on the black, of course, had he played that. But anyway, he's on the pink.
$15.
Well, he still needs a red here, and that shot didn't work out. He overdid the white, actually. Or I suppose you could argue underdid it. Didn't bounce back off the cushion. Either way, Trump can still win the frame. 54 in it, 59 on. Got a couple of red safe-ish on the left-hand side, but even so,
Matthew
still
Stevens,
a hope here for Trump, because, as I say, Matthew Stevens, good chance there after Trump missed that long red to kill the frame off, and it's still very much live. That's a good shot, good length on the white. Put Trump under a bit of pressure because, of course, Stevens only needs one red here. Well, he's played a pretty good shot from where he was. Doesn't want the in off, though. Oh, it's a bit unlucky, really.
Matthew Stevens 4.
Well, he can still win the frame, Trump, but only just. 58 the difference now, 59 on. At least the black is available, but even so, they're done without the in off. Well, where's it all going to finish? Well, the red cuts, but he needs the black off it, so must come back up for the black.
One.
Well, it'd be a good steal, wouldn't it? Because Matthew Stevens has had a couple of chances already to take this frame. Trump needs blacks with the remaining reds and the 6 colours to win it by 1 point.
8. Nine. Sure. 16. 17.
2-2 on the other table. Neil Robertson's won the 4th frame against Graham Dott.
24.
Didn't sound like a great frame, it's got to
25.
be said, but Robertson won it with a couple of visits in the 20s. Now, this is the key shot, really. Get on the yellow, and you'd fancy Trump to win this frame. So, Matthew Stevens will be pretty frustrated, I think.
32.
You can see he didn't look the best pleased. This is a frame he looked certain to win at one point. Just lost his way a couple of times positionally.
34.
And when the chance came here, it looks like Trump's going to take it. And this is the sort of frame that can make a big difference in a match. Particularly, of course, one over such a short distance.
37.
Psychology so important in snooker, and Trump goes into the next frame feeling great. Matthew Stevens a bit down in the dumps.
41. 46.
Pink and black for a 2-1 lead. Judd Trump bottom of the table coming in this morning, but a very close table. All 7 players separated by just 2 points.
52.
But this has been an excellent clearance by the world number 4. Judd Trump leads 2-1.
59 in the frame, Judd Trump.
So a frame, as I say, that looks certain to go Matthew Stevens' way, but It's gone to Judd Trump, and he needs one more now. Well, it's 2-1 to Trump, but it could so easily have been 2-1 to Matthew Stevens. We've actually got 2 matches over on table 2 this morning that are reruns of World Finals. I mentioned Robertson Dot. Matthew Stevens will be up against Sean Murphy after that one. That's a repeat of the final in 2005 that Murphy won 18-16. Oh, well, that's a Trump special.
1.
Now then, can he see the black to the middle? Obviously, he wanted it to the corner, but, well, it's one of those. It's not easy at all. Doesn't have to take it on. One of those players, though, we know that he doesn't like to turn much down. He's taking it on. Ah, it's a great pot. He's going to need another one, pretty much identical. Now, where's the black going? That's not going to mess things up, is it? Oh,
8.
a little close for comfort, but I think he is still on the red. Well, in fact, not to the middle. Taking it to the corner. Well, no, he's taking it to the middle. Apologies.
9.
And more importantly, he got it. So, chance here for Trump. Terrific first red. And gone bang into them. This is what I was saying about the psychology of snooker. He's just made a great clearance. So he's feeling terrific coming into this frame. And you saw that from the first red he potted.
16.
That was a shot of someone full of confidence. Now he's gone into them. He's not on anything simple here. So this next shot really is the key now. If he can pot a red here. And it looks like, I think one goes to the middle here. Yes, it does. So if he can pot this, chance to win the match. And he has done. That's terrific stuff from Trump.
17.
Those early pots in the break, all excellent.
$24. 25. 32. 8.
Well, this is quite a thin one, actually. Should be okay. Such a terrific potter. I know it seems a strange thing to say about a snooker player, but Trump sees the shots so quickly, has such confidence in his own ability that he can get them.
.38.
So a great chance to win. As I say though, those first few pots of the break were the important ones. They got him in nice position.
39.
And Matthew Stevens will be kicking himself. It was really, I think, that third frame that's turned this match. He was playing pretty well. He looked like he was going to go 2-1 up, but Trump's clearance has completely turned things round.
.46. .47.
The next match will be Mark Davis against Ryan Day on this table. It's a table that's going to change. Trump's going to go up to third place, depending on what happens with Dott and Robertson. If Robertson wins, I think he'll be fourth.
54.
But he was seventh coming in this morning, so it just shows how quickly things can change in this competition.
55.
Top four, remember, go in the playoffs. Bottom two relegated. And then the three losers tonight in the playoffs, plus the fifth place player, will come back for Group 4 tomorrow, where we're joined by Mark Selby, Steve Maguire and Tom Ford. It was supposed to be Marco Fu, but there's been a slight switch around, so Ford's coming in
62.
earlier than planned. One other thing to say, there's a high break prize in each group, £500. The highest break so far, 118 from Neil Robertson. Well, that could go here.
.70. .71.
Speaking of Robertson, it looks like he's about to win on the other side. So despite all the drama of turning up late and being Dr. Frame, it's not made much difference. Trump trying to bring this red out. The match should be over. That was effectively the clinch victory.
78.
3 snookers needed, in fact. Now, can he make this century? It's a big break on here.
79.
Well, that's not great. It's pretty straight on the black. It's tough cueing from the cushion. Well, he's got a little bit of angle, actually. But couldn't do too much with the white. He can cut this red in the middle. So the cue ball's going to be slightly flying around the table.
86.
Can he get on the black here?
87.
Well, yes, he can is the answer. It was Trump's record, of course, that Robertson beat centuries for the season. It was 61 from Trump last season. Robertson's made 67 already this season. It just shows you what a heavy scorer Judd Trump is.
94.
The 145 on here. That's a huge target for the high break. He takes blacks with the remaining reds and then the colours. Because of where the reds
95.
are, he's played for a blue, so that comes down to 143. So blue for a century to finish for Judd Trump. Been a delightful break, this. Just such great cueing at the start. But as I say, that clearance in the previous frame really was the key to this match. It's what turned it all around in Trump's favour.
107. Thanks, Judd. Come on. 108.
So the 6 colours for a 142 total
150.
clearance to finish.
$117. $120. $124. $129.
Well, this has been magnificent. This is
$135.
real world-class snooker from Judd Trump. He's finished in style. Oh, the black only just dropped, but it went in. A 142 total clearance, easily the highest break of this group so far. And Judd Trump, who came in this morning bottom of the table, is going to rock it up.